Roll call. Hanson.
Here.
Meek.
Here.
Myers.
Here.
Peterson here. Ray.
Here.
Williams.
Here.
And Director Weinerger will be a few minutes late. Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And moving right into item number 4, financial well-being, school year 23-24 budget update.
Yes, Budget Director Colleen Doan is going to present our budget update for the 23-24 school year. With that, thank you, Ms. Doan.
All right, and good afternoon. Since we are starting early, directors, thank you for having me here tonight. This is going to be a very high-level preview of the budget. It is not our formal proposed budget. That will be next month, but I wanted to give you an update as to where we are today. So with this, I don't know what I just did. I am so sorry. Thank you. Okay, so we just wanted to frame our discussion where we are first and remind that our work is grounded in our board policy end statements, and our work related to the budget particularly relates to end statement 5 on financial well-being. Are you able to click forward? Or? There we go. Okay. All right. So with the 15 minutes of the presentation that we have here this afternoon, I'm going to split it evenly between a discussion of revenue and a discussion of our planned expenditures. We will go into greater depth on our initiatives and what our budget actually looks like in our proposed and then our adopted with the supplementary materials that will be in your board materials at those points in time. So to begin, as you know, everything is based upon our number of students. Enrollment is the single largest driver of our funding. And wanted to break it out into a few different categories because the way these numbers go over time as well as how they are either included or not included in multi-year averaging is important to note. So as we look at this chart, we have our current school year actual October count. So these are the students as of last October that are formally counted for the school year compared to our projected student count. This is not the projection used by the planning department prepared by our demographer for capacity purposes. These are the numbers that are included for the budget as reviewed by our principals, including most recently by our charter schools as of March 30th. So these are very current numbers, and these are the numbers that we build our budget on. So as we look first at our first category, which is our largest category, that is our neighborhood K-12 enrollment. We are seeing a decline year over year of 607 kids. This is across, all 3 levels, elementary, middle, and high, in our neighborhood schools. Then we do see a slight increase in our alternative and district-run early childhood enrollment. Now, just one note briefly on early childhood. While early childhood students will not be included in funded pupil count, because they are from the universal preschool, I've still included them in their enrollment because they are still our kids. This increase here is largely Vail with the addition of the new alternative school that we're adding in Parker. And then I've broken out their charter enrollment into 2 categories. The first category is non-Hope Online. So all of the other charter schools that have a traditional brick and mortar building, because these are students that for the most part reside within Douglas County. So they are located here, attending school physically here in Douglas County. And we are seeing an increase there of about 1,000 kids. While Hope Online, which is an online multi-district charter school, may have kids across the state. And so with their increase of about 400 kids at one school alone, those may not be 400 kids here within DCSD, within the geographic boundaries of Douglas County. And then additionally, the other reason why I include them separately is they are not included in the multi-year averaging of the full-time equivalent calculation that goes into the funded pupil count calculation. So they're added after the fact. So as they have ebbs and flows on an annual basis, that is not averaged out. And the funded pupil count, the number that really matters for the money, which is how we are funded, is a decline year over year. And again, you can't just add up those first four rows to get to the bottom row. They are not one and the same because we do have a 5-year average because we are a declining enrollment school district for our funded pupil count. So I wanted to show a few more years of history for our enrollment. And so the left-hand side shows our district versus charter enrollment with Hope Online included. So these are all students, and so this will tie out to our total membership for each of the respective October counts represented here, with 2023 asterisk representing that is a projection for the upcoming year. The orange lower line is our charter enrollment, and the blue higher line is the district-run enrollment. And as you can see, there has been a slight yet steady decline in district-run enrollment from 2019 through 2023, with a percent of overall student population going from 76% within our district-run schools down to 73%, and the corresponding increase of the charter inclusive of Hope Online going from 24% to 27%. So a slow but steady change to that makeup there. And then on the right-hand side, you see the same lines, but excluding Hope Online. So those percentages are adjusted as well to exclude that one school that's approximately 2,000 kids per year. And you'll see that it tells a very similar story, with those numbers, though, being 78 and 22% respectively in 2019 to 76 and 24. So if we're looking at kids that live within, for the most part, Douglas County, yes, we do have kids that do cross county lines to come to our schools. It's approximately a 2% shift in that period of time. Okay. So enrollment is that first and largest factor. The second, of course, is the per pupil revenue. So excited that we finally have an introduced School Finance Act. We do have updated information since this that I'll get to on a later slide, but the School Finance Act was introduced last week. This is Senate Bill 23-287, and it is more favorable than the governor's revised request from January. And so what this does is, in addition to the constitutional requirements for the base to increase by inflation, which is set at 8% in the School Finance Act for this upcoming year, there are no other changes or substantial changes to the various factors. So there was conversation that this could happen, but there will not be as this has been introduced, which means the cost of living and the at-risk, which is our measure of poverty factor formulas, will remain the same. And there also was no change to any multi-year averaging. There was conversation, what about a 4-year, a 3-year, et cetera. We are still using that 5-year, but just know that each year is subsequently less and less students for Douglas County School District. And so when the big year, which is the 5th year out, drops off for us, that will affect the funded pupil count. But the great celebration here is the budget stabilization buy down. So this is what was introduced, which is a $150 million buy down, which means that the cut to K-12 education at the state level is reduced from the current school year. So it went from a $321 million cut, which is approximately 3.7% of the total School Finance Act, to just $171 million, which is approximately 1.9%. So within this, there is also discussion that in 24-25, we will completely eliminate the budget stabilization factor, and then the formula in theory should work as initially intended under Amendment 23. And so for us, what does this mean? This means an increase of $924 per student which is $10,115 for students in Douglas County School District. This is the first time DCSD has ever been funded at over $10,000 per kid. And so this is really exciting information for us. And I say it's only getting better with amendments since then, and I'll talk about that on a future slide. Other revenue changes. So the long bill includes items for what we call our state categoricals as well. These are essential for K-12 education, but they're outside of the total program formula. And so the ones that we're looking at in particular here are, excuse me, that went too, I'm sorry, I think it jumped around. So I'll get to that and then I'll jump back because it went ahead. The one that we're looking at in particular here with the biggest influence is special education. So special education has its own separate bill this year, Senate Bill 2399, which will increase the special education Tier B funding up to the $6,000 per student that actually was first written into law in 2006, but has not been able to be funded at that level due to limitations within the state's budget. And so finally here, over 15 years later, I'm going to actually fund it at what was originally contemplated. So statewide, that's approximately $40 million invested into special education, which will increase DCSD's special education funding by approximately $2.9 million. These are hot off the press numbers straight from CDE as of last Friday. And so that is very recently public information. And for those in the audience who don't know what a Tier B means, these are our students who are identified with more severe needs. So they may be visually impaired, deaf, hard of hearing. They may have any number of more severe needs. And so in addition to the base level of per pupil funding for special education, which is $1,750 per student, they qualify for additional funding to support their needs. And then in addition, SPED is just one of the categorical programs. The whole categorical bucket of funds is required to increase by inflation. And so that whole bucket will increase by 8%, which is another $35 million. And I just estimate that our share of that is about $2.2 million. However, the majority of the funding is already through SPED. Please keep in mind while this is extremely favorable for us, we still largely subsidize the cost of special education within our school district, as do all school districts in the United States. Our maintenance of effort is over $100 million, which means that's our local and state contribution outside of what the federal government provides for special education for DCSD. Okay, so now since the slides are kind of jumping around, this summary here shows the combination of the per pupil revenue and the enrollment. So the numbers in the first 4 rows you've already seen on an earlier slide, and what that is looking at is, again, just a reminder of the 2 years side by side. October count of the current year drives the revised budget. Our projections from our principals will drive the proposed budget. And those numbers are all outlined as such. The per pupil revenue you can see with that $924 per student increase. You multiply that by the funded pupil count decrease. You multiply that by the funded pupil count and you get to the total program formula. You will see that our total program for the whole entire DCSD is projected to increase $54 million. Now, $31 million of that will be retained by DCSD for district-run programming, while $23 million of that will be passed through to charter schools for them to operate their schools, as we do a 100% pass-through of the per pupil revenue. Along with this information, it is important to know that the reason why you can't just take the total number in the current year and multiply it by the 924 kids is because we are a declining enrollment school district. And I'll show on a future slide how you can see the breakout of just existing kids multiplied by the new PPR, and then how much you basically subtract off of that for the kids that will not be here next year for various reasons. Okay, so this is that slide that I was referring to. So the first piece here is that we will be presenting a budget to you next month that will have a use of unassigned fund balance. We will be presenting a budget that will first, before any further use of unassigned fund balance, draw it down to what was in the adopted budget for the current year. So you may recall that over the course of the summer, between when you adopted the budget last June and when the 21-22 year closed out in the fall, there was a generation of fund balance that was largely unassigned because primarily due to vacancy savings and late supplemental funding we received last spring that we intentionally didn't spend in the fourth quarter of the year. We are drawing down the budget back to that level to start from that same place that we had built the budget on that you all voted on almost a year ago. So that's approximately $14 million. Then we see the per pupil revenue increase. This is approximately $43 million, which is simply taking the roughly 46,000 neighborhood kids times the $925. But then we subtract out $12 million because that is the difference of the 1,282 funded pupils that are decreasing year over year. And then the pass-through to charters of the mill levy override, what that is referring to is our existing mill levy override of $73 million is a fixed dollar value. And so that means as the percentage of our population shifts, as we do 100% share of the mill levy override with charters as well, that means the amount of that fixed dollar that the district retains decreases as the charter population increases. And so that's a $300,000 decrease to what the district will retain and increase to what the charters will have next year. Then there is the special education and other categorical revenue increases that I mentioned on a previous slide. And those add up our ongoing estimated revenue sources for this upcoming year within the general fund. In addition, we have other one-time revenue sources that we are building into our budget. The first is that we are strategically drawing down the reserve that was set aside out of our 2018 mill levy override for career tech. And this is being used for the legacy campus, for the programming side of the legacy campus, for all of the career tech programming that will occur in the school next school year. So that's about $600,000. They have an ongoing $2 million line item that wasn't spent in the first few years because we didn't have a legacy campus. Concurrent enrollment revenue is increasing substantially by $1.3 million. And then they're also with the legacy campus lease and rental income that we now have that opportunity to budget as well. So $16.5 million of one-time sources. Now these could be ongoing sources, but since many of these are in their first year, we're planning them 1 year at a time. So as we transition into our expenses, the first most significant one is our compensation. We are investing over $25 million in our current employees within our budget in 23-24. This is the third year in a row where compensation is our single largest investment within our budget. And so this is exactly what the Board of Education approved back on February 28th. No changes from here, but I do just want to remind you that the para-includable retention stipend is going to be paid out of this year's budget because that will be booked back into June financials, and so you will not see that in the proposed budget. For our schools, so the majority of our schools that our district run use what we call our site-based budget, and we've made some substantial investments into our site-based budget this upcoming year. Now, our investments through our student support services are all what we consider non-discretionary, which it means that they are prescribed by a department, such as student support services, and must be used in that manner. And the increases that we have here are totaling over approximately 42 increased FTE. Again, these are school-based FTE under the supervisory orgs of the principals, or approximately $4.3 million. This is for increased mental health FTE to support schools that have an effective needs program. This is to increase the hours of our educational assistant 4 positions. These are our paraprofessionals who work with our students with special needs. They are getting 30 minutes per day, which isn't a huge change if you're already almost full-time, if you're going from 7 hours to 7.5. But it's a really big difference if you're going from 3.5 hours to 4, because at 4 hours a day, you become benefit eligible. So those employees will now be eligible if they wish to participate within our district benefits. Increasing our gifted and talented interventionists at more elementary schools to support our identified and referred gifted learners. And then to increase our campus security specialists at our middle school and high schools. So in addition to the non-discretionary increases through our student support services, we are also providing some discretionary funding in order for schools to maintain their purchasing power for their staff, to be able to cover for the cost of their staff all increasing year over year. So that actually is, excuse me, an $11.5 million increase, but you don't see it as a true increase to the budget because it was just held centrally last year, but now it's actually out in the schools' budgets. And so that was approximately an 8% increase for our elementaries, a 5% increase for our middle, and our 4% increase for our high. And so what this ensures, it ensures that holding all else equal, meaning same enrollment, same plans for programming, that a school can staff the same staff with these new base per pupil amounts and not have to make sacrifices in staffing, again, assuming all else equal, because their staff are more expensive. Now, within our departments, these are areas not managed on our site-based budgets. Many of these departments are directly in support of students, but they are just outside of the SBB. And the increases to department managed budgets are $12 million after the offset of dedicated revenue. And what I mean by that, by offset of dedicated revenue, is things like concurrent enrollment tuition reimbursement. We wouldn't necessarily have the concurrent enrollment program if there weren't the participating colleges providing that reimbursement. Or universal preschool, that revenue comes in to allow us to offer preschool, Medicaid programming, et cetera. And so with that 12 million, the increase to the central budgets, as we know that can always get identified, of approximately 1.4 million is just 12% of the department increases, but this is exclusively related to employee retention related initiatives or pure inflationary increases. And so within this pie chart here, you can see the different categories that we've broken our increases out into. We have the largest category is special education and student support services of approximately 4.7 million, which is 39% of all the increases. We have in orange our learning services departments, which is about 600,000 or 5%. We have post-secondary readiness, and I grouped athletics in with post-secondary readiness of 1.6 million or 14%. Our transportation is 3.6 million or 30%. And then finally, the central dollars that I already referred to. So to summarize all of the planned expenditures within this budget preview, we have our compensation initiatives first. I've broken them out into 3 line items to reflect the costs of steps for license. So those are between 2 and 2.5%, depending upon the years of service. And then the actual increase to the schedule of 3.5% for this upcoming year. Then we have our non-licensed staff increase of 7.5 million. And then our medical benefit premiums, I've listed these as one-time only because we have the opportunity to do plan design changes on an annual basis. And so this could go in any direction a year or so from now based upon any plan design. And then finally, we have our school and department increases. So I've called Vail Out as its own line item. And then we have our other school increases, all ongoing, and our department has increases that are both ongoing and one-time. Okay. Just 2 more slides. This will move forward. There we go. So to wrap up with just some unknowns in the forecast, since we are still here 2 months away from the actual adoption of the budget. The first is the upside on the School Finance Act. I do think that this is a strong possibility that the upside will occur, which is more favorable than the introduced bill, because the most recent fiscal note released on the 20th brings the buy down to $180 million. Now, the numbers I included were $150 million. CDE, so the Colorado Department of Education, has not released updated number runs, and so I'm still going off of their numbers, but about $30 million more to spread across all the school districts, so it is more favorable. Universal preschool, we are still waiting for all of that dust to settle on all of those slots and what that is actually going to mean for us in terms of revenue to support our preschoolers. And then on the expenditure side, if budgeted positions are filled, that may result in less use of our more expensive contractors. And so if we are able to fill all of our positions that we have posted, that will allow us to have some budgetary savings. And then the downside is really the reverse in each of those situations. So finally, this is our timeline on our next steps. On May 23rd, we will bring the full proposed budget to you. That will include supplementary information with all of our fund schedules. And then the May 31st is that legal deadline for that proposed budget to be published. We'll be back on June 20th to present the adopted budget and to seek your vote. But you do technically have until the 30th to pass that as the fiscal year begins on July 1st. And with that, that wraps up this budget preview, and you're open to any questions.
Director's questions? If you could go to slide 6, Mr. Blair. I just wanted to highlight what's being done. There was at one point an early version of this that COLA changes would have gutted DCSD over $20 million. So first of all, very happy that the COLA changes are what they are proposed. Second, as you highlighted, the budget stabilization factor, or the clawback buy down of almost half, is a good step. It's something that this board, group of 7, advocated for in our legislative priorities. They didn't get all the way there, but they took a good step. And the last one that I wanted to highlight on here is the per pupil revenue increase of $924, I think is excellent. However, that is a rising tide that lifts all boats. Everyone across the state of Colorado is going to see that, and that does nothing to close our gaps with surrounding districts. For instance, last year, I think the average pay gap salary with Cherry Creek was $18,000. Now it's $19,000. So while that helps with cost of living for our educators and our staff here in the district, and I think it's a great step, I did want to point out that this should not be construed as us making up ground on any surrounding districts, and we're still going to need to look at that gap. And then the last thing, again, nothing's finalized, and we have to wait till the School Finance Act is actually voted into law. For those that are listening that attend one of our 2 CSI-sponsored schools, also in this proposed language is a plus up followed by a matching with district funds. So let me summarize that for you. Should this board put ballot language on in November that suggests an MLO increase, that our 2 CSI schools, Colorado Early Colleges and Ascent Classical Academy, if that should pass, that will also increase their funding in the future should this School Finance Act go through. So that very much changes some of the arguments that we heard last year, and I just wanted to point that out. Any other directors or any other questions or comments? I see the superintendent has something, maybe. Okay, just looking. Director Ray, you have your hand up.
Yes, thank you. And thank you, Ms. Doan, for that great presentation and great news indeed. I have a couple of questions. I guess on slide 12, if we could look at that for a second. I know in the past, Ms. Doan, we've had kind of a budget walk forward with our departments so that we as a board can see what the proposed increase for each department is. Will we be getting that kind of presentation?
I'm happy to address that question for Director Ray, President Peterson, if that's all right. We can certainly provide that to the Board of Education. It is a level of detail that is not necessarily typical, although you're right, that has been provided in the past, and we're happy to provide that upon request. It's just incredibly complicated because, as always, things move from one department to another. But I will give you just a really quick overview of what you're seeing here on slide number 12. Our investment in special education and student support services is very much around our itinerant support in our schools for special education, as well as an investment in mental health. On the learning services side, I'd like to highlight that investment is in our alternative education program that we are going to be providing here in Douglas County School District for our college degreed employees to be able to become teaching professionals and get an alternative license instead of having to go to a university. So that was a very conscious investment. On the transportation side, I believe we've talked quite a bit about the transportation side, but needing to get a little more competitive there so that we can actually be able to transport our students, as well as the increase in third-party services. And then finally, on the post-secondary side, a lot of that is an investment in our post-secondary and the Schedule A, Schedule B side, and with our athletics and activities that correspond to a lot of our other changes district-wide. So that's a really quick summary, but we would be happy in the future to provide additional details should the Board of Education require that.
Hey, Director A, any follow-ups?
Yeah, no, just thank you, Superintendent Kane, for that. I do find it helpful. I don't know if other board directors would or not, but it's just helpful since we ultimately authorize the budget every year just to be able to see where those increases are falling. But thank you for that overview, because that really helps me quite a bit. My other question is, so if I'm understanding correctly, we have ongoing expenses that have increased by $43.7 million, and then we have ongoing projected revenue that's increasing by $35.8 million. So in terms of that discrepancy, where are we getting that additional revenue to be able to support the increased expenses that are projected at $43.7 million?
So this is just an update. It isn't yet the proposed budget. We have to finalize all the numbers to see exactly where it lands. But we did go through everything piece by piece to look at every single possible increase. Our district is holding on to quite a bit of fund balance that in the past was planned for the salary schedules. And so we'll be looking at making sure that we're optimizing all of our resources, and in particular to make sure that we're doing everything we can to retain our staff while the Board of Education considers the decisions that you all will be considering for the ballot in the fall. Should there not be an initiative in the fall, or should something not be passed, or whichever, we will have to work very hard to bring that into balance so that there is no eating into fund balance going forward. But that would be part of the 24-25 budgeting efforts.
Thank you. And I can't see anybody. I think that was Superintendent Kane that was responding, and thank you. But so we are anticipating eating into the fund balance with this proposed budget. I understand that we don't have the finalized budget yet, but there is anticipation that we would be eating into the fund balance in order to support the projected increase of expenses. Is that correct?
It is correct. However, keep in mind that as with this year, there is a likelihood that we will not be able to fill all of the positions that we have programmed into the budget. So while that would be what our budget would look like, Director Ray, the reality at the end of the year may look somewhat different from that.
Great, thank you. Then my final question just is on the next step slide. Just a quick question. Where do we key in our FOC in terms of having them provide an analysis of the proposed budget, as well as them presenting that feedback to us?
Yeah, I can take that one. So our FOC completed a survey of budget priorities back in February, and we reviewed their results of the survey at their March meeting and plan to, in May, bring forward to them a preview of the proposed budget prior to it coming to the full Board of Education, as that FOC meeting does predate the board meeting. And at that point, it would be the committee's discretion whether they wanted to put together a memo like they have done in past years or not.
I would just say that as a committee of the board, I think that's really an essential, at least as one board director, that we have their input prior to our final approval of the budget. So I would really, again, benefit greatly from having their view before we actually are asked to approve the budget. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. I have no further questions.
Okay, other directors, questions, comments? Director Weininger?
Yes, I'll make sure the FOC prepares a memo for everyone and to give their input on the budget. They also were presented with the same presentation at our last meeting, and they had the same question as you, Director A, about, oh, expenses are higher than revenue, which is expected, but they didn't seem to have any concerns around what the expenses were on. They were very understanding that, you know, to run a business and to have a great school district, these are needed expenses, but in saying that, also understanding of we need more revenue, MLO is important, and just staying in reality, but also trying to work toward getting that revenue number up going forward. So yeah, it was in agreement with a lot of what was said.
Other directors? Okay, thank you, Ms. Stone.
Thank you.
And we will move into the next item. If Mr. Cheney has his students ready to come in, we'll move to item number 5, Student Advisory Group presentations, scheduled for a 15-minute presentation followed by a 10-minute Q&A.
If you want to pass, so we're first going to pass this outline of just our presentation out, so you guys have it for reference. Hi, my name is Kira Sheehan, and I'm a junior at Ponderosa High School.
Michael Chung. I'm a senior at Chapel High School. Today we're just talking about like a policy proposal about weighting honors classes in high school.
So we're first going to talk about the weighting. And so we talked about this in January, and there's a few different themes that go along with this, but just as like a recap, so we're proposing a 4.5 weight to honors classes because we realize that honors classes and AP classes are different, and AP classes have a 5 weight, so we want to propose a 4.5 weight instead.
Yeah, so pretty much the reason we're doing, like she said, for the 4.5 weight is just to match the rigor of the classes. Like an honors class is meant to be higher than a regular class, yet lower than the AP, so we want the weight to just match that level of rigor.
And so we wouldn't be the first to implement this, as Jefferson County and Cherry Creek school districts have already implemented this, though they have a 5 weight. So we wouldn't go that far. It would just be a 4.5 weight, as we already said.
So I mean, a big worry about that people have about weighting these honors classes that we'd see GPA inflation. But I mean, I think with our proposed weight, we're not really going to see that issue because it's only like a 0.5 extra weight, so we're not going to see rampant inflation of GPAs. And then as for the college admissions aspect with a weighted GPA, many of the top colleges say they don't look at weighted GPAs. However, what they do say is they look for a rigorous course load in their students. So when we add this weight to honors classes, we're pretty much giving a incentive to take these honors classes, and so our Douglas County students will have a more rigorous course load on their transcript, and they'll be more competitive when it comes to the college application process, should that be the path they follow.
And so we're going to talk a little bit about honors standardization. So as we all know, AP classes have standardization, as they always take an AP exam in the spring. And so usually every AP class you see is very similar in how they teach it. And so if we were to add a weight to honors classes, standardization would have to be a must, because you're adding that weight, and so there would have to be standardization implemented. And so in order to do this, we would have a spring final, so it'd be like an AP exam, but teachers would focus on teaching the comprehensive skills for that final, for those honors classes. And so then each teacher would like guide a similar curriculum, but it would be like a little different depending on what the teacher wanted to focus on. But yeah. And so this is the huge difference compared to our January presentation. So we're asking for the Board of Education to look into the feasibility of standardizing honors classes as a first step towards weighting honors classes. And so reference 2B on the paper, as that also gives you an idea of what we could do. So teachers could meet over the summer and create that exam so that they know exactly what's on it and what they need to teach for the following year. And of course, we would ask for those teachers to be paid for that. And so the hugest thing that we're proposing is, do we have the money to pay those teachers to make those exams in order to weight honors classes? So, yeah, thank you, and we look forward to hearing back.
And let's take board questions on a per presentation basis. If we don't mind, I'll open it up to any directors for questions or comments for our students. Director Williams.
Thank you guys so much. Great presentation. You guys mentioned that both Jeffco and Cherry Creek weighted honors classes at 5. What do then they rate? How do they rank or weight their AP classes?
Their AP class.
They're weighted the same.
Yeah, they're weighted at 5.
So they're both
as well.
5. Okay.
Yes.
Director Meek.
Yes, thank you so much for the presentation. This was something we heard when we met with the students, when we had our student engagement. The standardization question really is an operational question, right? So it would be, I don't know if you plan to respond to operational kinds of next steps.
And if I can add on to that for another operational question, if the board were to take this up, when would the district leadership need us to make a decision? When do we need to take this up to implement it in a reasonable timeline for staff to react?
From a timeline standpoint, I think one approach you could take would be doing a formal request of staff to explore the feasibility and come back with recommendations, keeping in mind just workloads and priorities and all of those things. But that is, if the Board of Education is interested in having staff go look at that, is something that we have talked about internally for quite some time. So a formal direction to go consider that would be a message, but understanding it would take us quite a bit of time to get the feasibility figured out and to recommend details. Is that fair, Assistant Superintendent Windsor?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that'd be hugely helpful. It's something we've actually been discussing with our high school principals during our level meetings. And so your voice has definitely been heard. We really appreciate it. As a former counselor, I can appreciate that conversation, work with students on a regular basis. It would definitely take some time for us to engage. We have some strategies we're looking at as well, but that would be a helpful approach. Thank you.
Director Meek, did that answer your question as well?
It did. I have a feeling we're going to have a lot of questions like this throughout, so thank you. That was really helpful to hear.
Other directors? Director Ray, I see you have your hand up, then I'll go to Director Myers.
Yeah, I think it was about 3 years ago, we did a feasibility study, our staff did, and I still have a copy of the memo. All the principals were surveyed regarding this, and so some of that foundational work has already been done. But I just wanted to thank our student advisor group students. Great presentation. You continue to advocate exactly what we need to hear in terms of what will make your educational experience better and more meaningful. So I just wanted to thank the two of you for a great presentation. But I also want to just, if staff needs that memo, and I'm trying to remember who actually conducted that. I can't remember if that was Mr. Reynolds or Mr. Abner, but there was a memo, pretty comprehensive in terms of looking at all the other districts in terms of what they did, as well as surveying principals in terms of their observations as well. So I would encourage us to take a look at that and build from that.
Director Myers?
Hi, guys. How are you doing?
Good.
So anyway, a question. First of all, thank you. Beautiful presentation. Both of you represent two different schools. In your group that worked with you, how many schools were represented, do you think?
I think it was just the public schools in our group.
Okay.
Legend, Conroe.
So kind of piggybacking on Mr. Windsor, were you guys able to have a voice in your school going forward with this?
So I've talked to like a few like teachers about it and like students, and they're all on board for it. They're all like, that would be a great idea, as it provides incentives for students to take that in order to take more AP classes. But I haven't really heard anything as to money-wise, can we do this?
Okay.
Like, so.
Right, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Other directors? Okay, thank you both, and we'll have our next presentation. And a round of
Thank you.
applause for our weighted grading presentation.
Hello, board members. My name is Jacob Sadler, and this is Avery Herbert. We're both from Legend High School, and we are both seniors. We are going to be presenting to you the IHKB Preparation for Post-Secondary and Workforce Success.
All right, so the main concept of this policy would be preparation, which would be just starting to prepare kids for college starting before their senior year in high school. As a senior this year, I worked through like getting my applications in August, and there wasn't a lot of support from the schools of different scholarships that are available, different avenues that are available, or even just like how to get your application in on time and where to find the information.
So this is important because it helps to decrease the amount of student dropout rates, increase graduation rates, and encourage all students to reach their learning potential. It really helps with post-secondary and workforce opportunities throughout their education and promotes students' post-secondary and workforce success. In accordance with state law, the district shall provide the following opportunities and information.
All right, so as we decided what policy that we were gonna choose, we talked with Director Ray, and we came up with the IHKB one. And our district is currently out of compliance with the state of Colorado, as the state of Colorado requires every school board to have this policy regarding the topic, and Douglas County does not.
So our plan. So starting in 6th grade, students will be encouraged to register for a state-provided free online college planning and preparation resource called College in Colorado. And starting in 8th grade, the College Commission on Higher Education, the CCHE, will provide information to parents and guardians about admission requirements for institutions of higher education, with options of emails, letters, and informational meetings with advisors.
All right, and I forgot to say that all of this information is based off the Colorado Association of School Board recommendation, which is something we got from Director Ray at the beginning when we were starting this. So then in 10th grade, we just said that staff will be able to assist students to develop the individual career academic plans in accordance with the requirements of state law. So some of them would include exploring the post-secondary career and educational opportunities available to the student and setting performance expectations.
Yeah, so since we're both seniors, we have a lot of friends that are not going into college. I have numerous friends that are struggling finding opportunities outside of college to find their own success. So in trade school and other opportunities.
The ICAP would also help to meet with academic and career goals in the high school, and then also as you continue into college, it would apply to post-secondary education institutions. So just help find what AP classes transfer to different schools and different things like that. It enables the students to demonstrate post-secondary and workforce readiness prior to or upon high school graduation, so they're able to know what they're doing before they graduate. It helps to secure financial aid either through the government or through scholarships, and in the end, it also helps those who are just going straight into the workforce.
So as a result of this, we can see that it will help kids have a better plan for their future and have a better understanding that as their options as they develop towards becoming independent adults. We hope that this will help kids think about their future sooner than senior year, and so they can get everything in order. This will also help students be able to ask questions, and this will increase graduation rates and just push a lot more opportunities out to people that might not be able to afford college or might not want to be going to college.
Yeah, so kids just have a better plan for their future. They'll understand their options as they develop becoming independent adults, and it just gets them to think about things sooner than their senior year in August when applications are due.
Thank you so much. Any questions?
Okay, opening it up to board directors. Any comments, questions? Director Meek. And Mr. Blair, if you can bring Director Ray back up as well. Not sure if he dropped off.
He did drop off. He did text me to say that he was going to be disconnecting at 5:30, I believe, his time, so that he could catch a flight.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Blair. Go ahead, Director Meek.
Yeah, thank you very much. Again, this was a theme we heard, right, when we talked with the students. And why I keep mentioning this is it reinforces how helpful I think those engagement opportunities will be moving forward. Thanks again for the presentation. I was a first-generation college student, and I remember trying to navigate it. You know, I remember telling my parents, I'm going to go to college, and they said, that's great. And that was the help I received, you know, and it can be really, really challenging. So I love that this is a focus area. I think it's really important. I'm kind of surprised there isn't more already being done on ICAP. And so I'd love to hear the response.
Sure. Thank you so much, kids. That was really fantastic. Assistant Superintendent Windsor is going to address where ICAP is covered in our policies, because it is in our policy and we do practice this in our schools, and he can talk a little bit about what it looks like. But clearly we have some work to do to make sure that our kids see that work.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your work. I really appreciate your intentionality to take care of all of our students, to make sure this process starts a whole lot earlier than in high school. And so that conversation is something, actually, we have an ICAP plan that's actually built out for our middle schools, actually starting 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Some of our middle schools do start in 7th grade. So there's actually, it maps out with different things we're doing with each of our students starting in middle school through high school. We have a counseling consistency team that spends some significant amount of time to make sure that does happen. The exact language, I really appreciate you bringing in the policy conversation. It actually lives in our graduation policy, IKF. The language in particular around the Colorado Commission of Higher Ed is actually, it's located actually in that exact same policy. So you are way ahead of the game, and so I appreciate your guys' desire to jump in that. We absolutely agree with you that we need to make sure this process starts early, then that each one of our kids has their own individual pathway that we can support them a lot earlier before they enter in the high school realm, because by then sometimes it's a little overwhelming, to say the least. And so we do have a plan that's approached. It's actually built into IKF as well, too.
Thank you for the clarification, Assistant Superintendent Windsor. Any other directors? Director Myers.
Yes, thank you for the presentation. Before you graduate, then make sure you go check out our new Legacy campus. If you haven't, and I'll tell you, as someone that's been a middle school teacher in the district since '97, and that was part of my curriculum, was talking about careers, you know, filling out applications, getting kids to focus before they get to high school. And so, and maybe it wasn't consistent across the district, but it looks like we've got some things in motion going, so thank you. Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, and as a graduate of a service academy, which meets two of our career pathways, which is military service and post-secondary education, you cannot wait till your senior year if you want to apply and be competitive for a service academy. So yet another reason to back some things up a little bit. And as staff mentioned, we've got some improvements to do in this area, but we also have a ton of great choices here. But thank you for your presentation. Directors, any more comments, questions? Okay, well, thank you to Avery and Jacob. Let's give them a round of applause. And I believe we are now on item number 6, recognition of Student Advisory Group.
All right, good evening, directors. So I'd like to start off by just thanking everybody in SAG for their hard work this year. We had a lot of good initiatives proposed to the board and have more to come that will be proposed to the superintendent and her cabinet on the operational side of things. But great presentations tonight, and we'd just like to recognize everybody that met the requirements of attending 6 meetings and also attending 2 Board of Education meetings and writing summaries. So I'm just going to recognize and read off the names of the people who were able to make it tonight. We had a lot of absences tonight. We actually had around 50 kids complete the attendance and managed to be recognized as an official SAG member. So I'm just going to read off the names of the people here right now. So first, I'd like to start off with Jacob Sadler. Avery Herbert. Kira Sheehan.
Aditya Senthil Kumar. Aditya Konalkar. Sneha Sa. And Nandana Vivek. I'm writing a picture. So let's go take a picture.
See if I can get you guys to move a little further this way, so we're not by the screen. All right. All right. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Good evening, Stephanie O'Neill. I just wanted to take a moment to honor our officers and all that they have done this year. So I'm going to start with Mona, and Dia is our other officer, and she's not here tonight, unfortunately, but I didn't want to go without saying something about her. So I want to say to you, thank you for joining our officer team this school year. You have brought so much to SAG. You both have had new ideas and perspective to share with everyone. You brought quality leadership skills to this team, sharing your roles with Nick and Sujay and making the officer officer team even stronger than it was before. It was a pleasure for Mr. Cheney and I to get to know you both so much better and to follow along with your lives this year. We both hope that continues for many years to come. Dia will be attending St. Louis University with a focus on neuroscience with additional plans to attend medical school. Mona is not 100% decided on her college plans yet, but she has received a full tuition scholarship already from Fordham and may attend there to study political science. Thank you, Mona. Nick and Sujay. First, we got to know you both as junior officers, and then this year as co-presidents of SAG. We're grateful to have had 2 years working beside your leadership. You both have exemplified strong, compassionate leadership these past 2 years. You watched and learned from other dynamic leaders. And then as seniors, you made this role your own. You don't lead like other young men or women, and you don't have to. You embraced your position, using your 2 personalities, your experiences, and your knowledge base to highlight your own individual strengths. As presidents, you worked longer hours, attended more functions, and stayed late when needed. Your dedication and devotion to SAG is admirable. Mr. Cheney and I are proud of you, and we hope to continue to be part of your journeys as you become adults. Thank you for all you've given to SAG. Sujay has accepted the University of Colorado Boulder, majoring in computer science, and proudly he is one of our Betcher Scholarship winners. Nick has accepted UNC Chapel Hill with a major in biology, heading to pre-med, and joining the soccer team once again. Thank you, guys. Before we close, I just would like to take a moment to just say thank you to Director Myers and thank you to Director Ray for everything that you have contributed to Mr. Cheney and I and the SAG Leadership Committee this year. It has been a pleasure to work beside you, and we're really grateful for your involvement in our organization.
And thank you for being in your committee. And I tell you, I bragged about it last night at DCYI. I'm the one director I feel like that's on the best committees. And that's the one with kids. And that's where I want to be. And I have certainly enjoyed getting to know these kids. I know at first they might have been a little apprehensive about me, so kind of because I'm a newbie, but I sure did enjoy getting to know you guys and coming to your meetings. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, last big round of applause for Ms. O'Neill, Mr. Cheney, and the entire SAG team.
Thank you. Okay. The last thing that we want to do is just thank you. Sorry, I swear it's the last thing. Is that we just wanted to introduce to you all our new officers so that you knew who they were for the upcoming year.
And why they're coming up, what a absolute exemplary example of our district mission of students fulfilling their own individual potential across the SAG. So we couldn't be more proud of them. And with that, let's introduce our next crop of outstanding SAG leaders.
Hi, my name is Nandana Vivek. I'm a junior at Legend High School, and I'll be a senior next year. And I will be the co-president for the upcoming school year. And I'm really excited to see, what we can accomplish and how many students we can get. And I know you guys will enjoy hearing our presentations next year, and I really look forward to working with you all. Thank you.
Good evening, board. My name is Adi Kanalkar, and I am a current sophomore at Rock Canyon. Go Jags. And this is my first year on the SAG committee, but I'm really excited to be your officer for my junior year, and we're gonna have a great time. Thank you.
Hello, board. I'm Aditya Senthil Kumar, and I'm a proud Grizzly over at Thunder Ridge. And I look forward to working with everyone here just to make sure that we provide the best experience possible for all Douglas County students. I'd like to thank Director Myers, Director Ray, Ms. O'Neill, Mr. Cheney, and everyone else here on the board and across all DCSD departments for supporting us and our work to make DCSD a better place. Thank you.
Thank you.
And sorry, just one of our co-presidents could not make it today. He's in class, right? So Jake Oliver will be a co-president for Student Advisory Group 2. He'll be a senior at Thunder Ridge next year. So just want to make sure you knew that. And thanks again for your support. Just want to echo what they've all said. Appreciate you guys' support of our Student Advisory Group. So thank you.
Director Meek.
Yeah, thank you all. I was curious, do we do surveys for our board committees to ask for feedback or input? I'm wondering if we've ever done that for the SAG. Do you happen to know? No. So as one of our board committees, that's something I'd love for us to entertain. I think it would provide us some really great feedback moving forward.
Okay, thank you, Director Meek. And with that, we will move on to item number 7, which is adjournment of the special meeting. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Myers, second by Williams. Hanson?
Aye.
Meek?
Aye.
Myers?
Aye.
Peterson, aye. Ray is offline. Williams?
Aye.
Weiniger?
Aye.
Passed 6-0. We will now adjourn the special meeting of the Board of Education. We will reconvene in 9 minutes for our regular meeting.